The Golden Era Party. Why Golden Era?
So we call
How did that name come about?
So we call it the Golden Era is because it's a party that's going to be accountable first. Accountability is key here. You cannot serve people, but then there's no accountability.
Yeah.
And the reason why we're having failing institutions in this country today is because there's no accountability from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
We have bad governance because the people that are supposed to serve Gambia, they're not serving Gambia. They're serving their own interests.
Yeah.
Which is sad. They're serving their own interests. They're not serving the people, and they're not accountable to the people that they're serving.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why we call it the Golden Era, because it's an era where leaders, because when we form a party, we have to put leaders in key positions.
Yes.
Leaders are there to form. We're putting leaders that would empower the next generation. They should be able to see themselves in each leader.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is my role model. I want to be just like him. He's there serving the country. He's trying to create jobs. So that's what we call it the Golden Era. It's going to be, because I alone cannot solve all the issues of Gambia. I need like-minded visionaries with clear intention, selfless people to come and fix this country. So we call it the Golden Era because we're going to now empower people to come in the front line that are ready for work, that are ready to fix this country. And number two, we call it the Golden Era because we are going to be action-oriented. We're going to be an outcome-based party with results. It's like, it's like running a corporation.
Yeah.
When you work a corporation, you have your QBR, which is your quarterly business review, to see how you're performing. And then if there are adjustments that needs to be made, let me take a step back, because I know your viewers are from different walks of life.
Yeah.
When you start a business, right, you want to make sure every month or every quarter, you're looking at how your business is doing.
That's true.
So we have to bring the same mindset as a country. The reason why we still don't have food security is because recently we just saw, the current administration donate thousands of tractors to the farmers.
Yeah, about 90 years.
Yes, for they've been around for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Before that, they've been donating, and still there's no food security. Still we importing rice, like, even worse than the other regime. So that tells me we have a big problem. We're not intentional. There's gross mismanagement, and then there's gross poor management. And then we don't have any mechanism to measure performance in this country. There should be KPIs.
Yeah.
We should have metrics in place to see every 3 months how things are going. We have program managers that are well-versed. And then we're looking at, okay, why is this sector failing? What is the key issue? What do we need to change? You don't wait till the whole year is done, to know whether your policies are failing or not. You should be able to measure it. It's just like running a corporation.
Yeah.
The same thing, even mirrored as a company, I do that all the time. I look at the books, I'm looking for growth, I'm looking at the staff's performance, where else can we improve? There's always room for improvement. But you look at this, oh yes, for me, I just feel like they do most of these things just to look busy. It's a facade. Oh yeah, we've donated, because when you talk to them like, hey, these policies you're implementing are not working. People are still poor. People are still hungry here. There's high unemployment. But they'll tell you, oh, we've just donated.
But what is the problem? Because, the same policies and the same direction during Jawara time, the same policies, the same direction during Jammeh's time, and the same continuing now.
Yes.
Just like you said, 60 years, we're still not full self-sufficient.
Yes, exactly.
60 years, everything else, our security service is the same. Our agriculture sector, our economy is not doing well. Our dollar is depreciating against all major currencies.
Correct. Yeah.
Everything else is just like that. But when you talk to government officials, they tell you we're doing well. They tell you the Gambia is doing well. And I'm telling them, I don't know if it's just me and my neighbors, but I don't see me and my neighbors doing well.
Okay.
Why do you think we're still in these positions? What will you do differently if Gambians give you the opportunity?
Sure. So when they say we are doing well, they are personally doing well.
Okay.
Because let me dive straight in. Oh, we are doing well. It means, there's a connotation to that. Oh, we are doing well.
Oh.
So you probably don't get the memo.
Okay.
But because look at our procurement. Let's start from there.
Yeah.
They grossly inflate all the projects.
Yes.
We know that the audit has clearly stated that.
Yeah.
You know, favoritism. We're giving contracts to people that are not even capable. We want to, you know, renovate our stadium, and we're giving a construction project to a marketing company.
Yeah.
Is that? I mean, come on, right?
Yes.
So our procurement system is trash.
And
It's
the first lady's, I want to say this,
yes.
the first lady's air ticket, almost $1 million, is $926,000 for a flight ticket to the United States. I have been to the United States over 100 times.
Well,
I don't.
yeah. So our procurement system is bad, and we have a lot of waste in our system.
Yeah.
And the waste is because they like it to be there, and they want the waste to go unchecked. Because when there's, you know, when there's mismanagement and waste, it's easy to justify the ridiculous expenditure. So the reason why, first of all, we have a broken system is rampant corruption, waste. We don't have efficient procurement system. The function of procurement is to add value,
Yes.
save, bring tangible savings, and be able to execute world-class projects. I don't even know of a single institution in the Gambia that I would say, wow, this is a world-class infrastructure. We don't have one. Even the tourism we talk about, we only have beach tourism. We only have beach tourism. That's it. We don't really have ecotourism here. What else is there to do in the Gambia? We don't even have cultural tourism.
No.
We're a rich nation. We have the Sere, Soninke, Mandinka, Wolof. We don't even have cultural tourism. We have 5 beautiful islands in the Gambia. Punta Kinde Island. They've done the bare minimum to modernize those infrastructure. These are very nice, Instagrammable. They're going to look good on TikTok. So even when they say tourism, where's the tourism? And then you're charging citizens and non-citizens $20 to come in and out. And then the airport is the first thing people see when they come to a country.
Yeah.
When they come to a country, you know, the airport feels stuffy, smells. It's in a deplorable state, and they've spent how many $1 million to fix it? Come on.
To renovate.
You don't even have to be an intellectual to see, oh, what is fixed here? Because it looked better in the time of Jamaica now, which is a shame. So that's what I'm saying. There's so much waste in the government, inefficiencies, policies that don't work. So what we're going to do differently is, and what we've done differently, even before we launched our website or before we came out public, we took our time, we hired consultants, and I come from a consulting background myself.
Okay.
I said, hey, the first thing we need to do is do survey. Let's talk to Gambian people. Let's identify the key things that Gambian people need first. Because you cannot create agendas without even knowing what the people really need. My concern may be different from his concern.
That's true.
You know, what matters, like for example, we live in the Combo area. Most of us have jobs, right? Or we have businesses. We're not focused on agriculture here.
No.
Agriculture probably matters in the URR, CRR region.
Yeah.
So if you create policy of agriculture in the West Coast region, how is it going to be effective? When most of the people here are not even farmers. They don't even own a farmland.
So,
That matters more in URR, Central River region,
and other regions,
and other regions. So what we did differently is we created surveys, you know, that are targeting people, you know, what matters to them the most, you know, so that way we can create an efficient policy. So we went to the grassroots people, and then when we collected all that data, we were able to map out 9 different sectors that, if fixed, will fix this. If fixed, will repair the broken system.
and what are those 9 sectors?
That is the Golden 9 agenda. The first one is agriculture and food security.
Okay.
The second one is education for the future. The third one is modernizing our infrastructure. The fourth one is economic expansion and diversification. The fifth one is governance, security, governance, accountability, and security. The sixth one is energy. The seventh one is healthcare. And the 8th one is youth empowerment, youth and women empowerment. And the 9th one is global branding.
I'm going to pick few of them.
Yes.
How are you able to fix the agricultural sector?
Yes. Okay, let me get into that. So you look at the agricultural sector. So what we did after the survey, we looked at the root causes, like why are these failing? If they're providing tractors and all this equipment, why are they still failing? And one thing we noticed is there's a huge gap to how they don't have mechanism to ensure success. Like for agriculture, for instance, you give tractor to these people, to the farmers, right?
Yeah.
And then there's no preventive maintenance that happen in these tractors. Some of these farmers don't even know how to use this equipment well. And then we don't, as a country, we don't have a national agenda on how to tackle the problem of agriculture. if you want food security, that should be a nationalized agenda. It's not a project you do in silos. You go give the people of, no, you know, the people of X tractors, and then you do a separate project here. No, we should have a national framework. We should have a blueprint on how to solve this. So even if that specific party leaves from ruling, the next party comes should follow the same blueprint and even do better. So that's the first issue. We need to go back to the drawing board. We need to have a national, not siloed projects, because these projects are so, you know, are so siloed, they don't fit into the national agenda. So we have to first have a national agenda for agriculture, and then we need to put mechanism in place to ensure success. So now we identified, you know, a lot of root causes, you know, embezzling. Even when they get grants from UN, it doesn't go to the farmers. They select handful of people to get these contracts, so and so. Those are issues. So now this is our solution, especially for agriculture, because cost of living, especially with food, is a big problem for Gambians. More than what the pants afford none, you know. And then when people get paid, even before the within a week, the money is gone, because by the time you pay rent, transportation, you don't have anything left. So our solution, especially when it comes to agriculture and food security, is we need to create a mechanism that integrates that integrates a lot of key standalone issues. Number one, like for instance, if I have a huge hectare of land, right? I need to. There's something called smart farming and precision agriculture, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why it's called smart farming is because the old way of doing things will not work anymore.
Yeah.
The manual labor is not effective.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure we incorporate smart farming when we give out this project. And precision agriculture, what smart farming does is we can utilize IoT devices. These are called Internet of Things. Those IoT devices can look at this, you know, can measure, can monitor the soil moisture, look at the nutrients that the soil is lacking. And so that way we know the right amount of water that is needed for high yields. Because obviously when you plant, you need to harvest, right?
Yeah.
So we need to make sure our yields, our productivity is high. So we need to put, you know, and of course, you know, you cannot farm without using fertilizers.
Yeah.
So now if you know, okay, this is what I'm planting and this is the nutrients that my soil is lacking, right? And then you have this you're implementing smart farming, you know the right fertilizer that you actually need to boost your crop.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure we use technology. We cannot succeed as a nation if we turn our back on technology. It's not going to happen. And we can do precision agriculture where we focus more on mechanized farming, especially when it comes to cultivating rice and a lot of this flour for our bread. We need to put, you know, we can do mechanized farming, have hectares and hectares of land that can produce, we can even have surplus that can be exported overseas and solve our problems. And then, so smart farming and precision agriculture is the best way to go to ensure productivity. And then we need to integrate the system. When I say integrate the system, as a country, right, that wants to tackle food security, we should have a digital application that is powered by blockchain. So that way there's transparency across the board. And then we can solve the issue of price control in this country. I'm a business person. I like free markets.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that free market is also competitive. And you want to make sure these farmers that are in the rural areas, they don't have the resources, they don't know how to reach out to buyers. So we need agricultural project managers that are acting as the liaison between the farmers and the application or the outside world or the end customers. So when you digitize and integrate, so what are we integrating here? The buyers.
The buyer.
Yeah. So when the produce is done, right, you can easily find buyers. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to. We need to implement. We need to have buyers first.
Yeah.
So so we have buyers and logistics as well. So we need to empower more Gambians to get into the logistics business. So because when that produce is done, it needs to get from point A to B immediately.
Yeah.
Because, you know, these are time sensitive, they don't have long storage life.
Yeah.
And then we need to implement cold storage. For anything that needs to be stored longer, all this can be done in the system where farmers can go, they can rent this cold storage place because obviously it costs a lot to have this. You know, that's a setup they cannot do. So the government would erect this cold storage, you know, it's an investment for the government.
Yeah.
So that way, because look at, you know, we have there's a lot of countries today where, whether it's mango season or orange season, they still have, you know, those, you know, food
Yeah,
stuff.
they do.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to struggle.
Preserve
Yeah,
them.
yeah. And then we're eliminating wastage. A lot of produce actually end up in the trash because they couldn't find a buyer, and we don't have a better means of storing them. So once we have those cold storage, all this can be done in the system. You know, if the farmers are not educated, that's where the project managers come in. So we have buyers, we have logistics embedded into the system. We also have price mechanism where the sellers and the buyers can determine the market prices, and that would eliminate middlemen, because all these middlemen, what they do is exploit the farmers, right? And we want more transparency, we want better control. So that's why we are going to do things differently, because now we're going to empower the youth to get into farming. A lot of our youth think farming is a poor man's job, but it's not.
It's not.
You go to developed countries, and even developing countries like Rwanda, the farmers are the rich people that are doing it, right? So now we're putting a mechanism where that will assure guaranteed minimum price. So the government is providing these amenities, but the government is not saying, it's not dictating the price. The market is doing that in the app. If you produce oranges, you want to sell for $100, see, and then somebody else is can sell it for 50, people are going to go to the farmer that's selling it for 50, right? Yeah, exactly. So that's how you ensure guaranteed minimum prices. Yeah, and then people will know the market rate. You can go into, it should be something public. You can go to the app and be like, oh, this oranges cost 50, so why is this retailer down the street selling it for 150? But it also creates competition. That's where competition comes in. Because if X, Y, Z are all farmers, they're all, you know, they're all looking for buyers in the application, right? So the buyers are, obviously the buyers will be negotiating prices, right? Depending on the volume they want, but at least we Gambians have a general idea of what the market rate is. And we can stabilize the rate, because, you know, in economies, the supply and demand forces that determine the market rate. So if we empower more people to get into mechanized farming, and then we're able to force competition, we can stabilize the market that way.
Well, how are we able to do that with an economy like this that we have? Our dollar is depreciating against all major currencies. The bulk of our money is from the diaspora, remittances. The revenue authority is raising about 23 billion, but that doesn't cover our budget. A lot of our budget comes from subvention from the donor partners. The minister told us that the National Assembly, the first quarter, we haven't received anything from the donor partners. Like you said, we're paying a lot of our money to our loans.
To service the loans.
How are we able to do this project with that kind of economy? How are you going to give us a vibrant economy as a government? How do we do that?
Yeah, so, you know, like, for every country, for us to be self-reliant, we actually have to put the right investment in, investing into agriculture, investing into the healthcare. But right now, I know we focus on agriculture, right?
Yeah.
And we want to put technology in there. We want to educate the farmer.
Yeah.
Like the application, the tool I'm talking about, it should have like an e-learning tool. So that way farmers can, no matter what language you speak, English, Mandinka translation will be there. And then, you know, we can also incorporate drone technology to monitor pest control and early diseases in the crops. So now, to be able to fund this project, there are different ways we can actually raise funds. You know, we can issue treasury notes, right?
Yeah.
And look at the diaspora. They support the economy so much, but they are left behind. So as Gambians, I think we need an all-inclusive government. Everybody needs to come on board, you know, for a productive Gambia. If the youth really are hungry for change, we want them to be all in. Everybody needs to be productive. So there are different ways we can pay for this. We can issue treasury notes. We can even have diaspora bonds.
Yeah.
So two things that's going to do is going to force diasporans to even want to come home, because now they're investing into the economy, and then we're giving them return on their investment.
Yeah.
So we can issue diaspora bonds, and specifically that would be for programs like this, where we can also give them a report back. Well, you remember the 20 million we raised from the diaspora? We have cold storage, we have in technology, we have agricultural project managers that are monitoring progress from each of these farmers. We have a robust supplier base. You know, it's easy to find buyers now. The buyers are the hotels, the schools, you know, the businesses. And then we're also encouraging manufacturing. All this is embedded in an integrated system. We're using blockchain technology to ensure there's transparency. So now we're solving the problem of agriculture. More people are buying in the economy. More youth are getting into farming. Yeah, logistics will become a big business here because everybody will want to start moving points. That's how you start to get great economy. Our project managers, the agricultural project managers, are teaching the farmers on how to use modern techniques, how to boost. You just don't apply fertilizers, waste them. You need to know where you can use these technology devices to determine the adequate amount that your crop needs. Because most of them they just waste these fertilizers or waste water without even knowing how to apply them. So now we're educating them. There could be an e-learning section within the application where they can learn, and we have to force them to learn, because if they don't learn, the next generation wouldn't learn either. So we have to make sure, hey, for you to be able to be part of this government program, you need to make sure you're learning, and then somebody is verifying within the application that yes, this person has taken this course. They can continue they can continue to participate. You have to force people to learn. You cannot be an innovative country if majority of the people are not learning. So we want to empower people by educating them, and they should know the benefits of this. It's like you want somebody to change, you have to sell them what the benefits are. And then obviously if they know, oh wow, I'll be able to even get more money, I'll be able to produce more crops just by using these techniques. Oh yeah, sign me up. People are going to be begging you, oh, what else can we do to even increase our production? A farmer that barely makes $500,000 a year, you show them a technique where they're making 2 million. They're going to be calling you the next day. What else can I learn? Because next year I want to make 5 million. So now you're making farming a whole business. You don't even have to tell the youth, get into farming. They'll be like, hey, when can I sign up? When is the next? Yeah, exactly. And that's how you motivate people to get into farming. And then you're connecting them with buyers easily. They don't have to struggle to find buyers. Their job should just be to farm, and then the buyers would easily find them. We can get stuff from point A to B. We put in an e-learning tool, and now that's where the manufacturing comes in too. And that's where, from manufacturing will create the most jobs, because what manufacturing does is add value. They're getting these raw materials within the Gambia, they're processing it into finished goods, and we can create thousands of jobs. Because anywhere you add value, so we need to have a value chain. Agriculture should go in with agribusiness, where we're creating a value chain. Because the manufacturers, yes, the hotels use, they buy food, right? They want fresh materials, but the manufacturing will be their biggest customer. Because now they're processing that into, we love Domoda in this country, right? So it's easy. It should be easy to find manufacturers that are willing to come here, because they know Gambians love Domoda. So we should not be importing commodities like peanut butter in this country when groundnut is rampant here. And we need to also diversify our economy. We can't just be Gambia is already blessed. We have the best soil. We should look at other cash crops that would easily bring money. Not even just within Gambia, that we can look at Kenya. Kenya makes $3 billion from exporting flowers. Some of those flowers they use in our perfumes today. In Gambia, I was doing my own research. We do have the climate to support, those type of flowers. So we need to think outside of just granite and, mangoes. We should look at other cash crops that will give us high dividend. This is how we're supposed to think as a nation. So now, coming back to your question, right? We're having all this integrated system in place. The manufacturers. So once we have those systems in place, there'll be more manufacturers, because now they know where to find, there's no middlemen that are exploiting the farmers. We can easily, process this into finished goods. These are the ways you solve cost of living problem. Food will become more affordable, to the people. So this is how we need to think as a country. So we need to definitely embrace technology. And we need to hold people accountable. Yes.
That is very
important.
And
every sector in the country needs to be, they need to be transparent. Right, so that way we can, we should be able to share ideas. Policies that are not working, and we've tried them over and over. That needs to stop.
That needs to stop.
And when I say Golden Era as a party, we're going to challenge the status quo. It's not to cause enmity with, the current administration. We are not attacking them or anything. Challenging the status quo means, hey, you're doing things the wrong way. Here's a better way of doing things. I have a proven track record of creating successful businesses. I've impacted multi-billion-dollar projects. I'm a consultant, and I've had contracts for statewide. In Louisiana, we had a statewide IT contract. So that already speaks, volume. So, and we've done contracts for medium and large businesses. And most of how I get paid is purely outcome based.
Outcome based.
And this is the same agenda I want to bring to Gambia.
To the Gambia.
Every, GAP is going to be, because it's easy to make empty promises, but how do you deliver is the question. What mechanism are you putting to ensure, delivery happens? So we are going to be that action-based party that is going to be measured based on the outcome. And then we want to be held accountable. We want to have scorecards. Every 3 months, Gambians can see, wow, the money they're raising from the diaspora, they're actually putting it in the good use.
Area.
Yeah, so we should be able to have a transparent, reporting mechanism where Gambians are seeing growth month over month. So by the end of the year, they'll be like, wow, they've really achieved. And we're talking about modernizing our infrastructure. That's just not building nice structures. It's also road network. Gambia should be the #1 logistics hub in Africa.
Well, this president said he has built more roads than Jawara and Jame combined. We have seen the this highway to the airport and the Senegambia highway. These are magnificent roads. The government is doing well when it comes to infrastructure. You go to Basse, they have built bridges across the Basse. They have built roads in Kiang. The people of Kiang have never seen electricity. They have given them electricity. In North Bank, they're building roads there. Do you think we can do better than this?
Oh yeah, of course we can do better. Gambia is a small country.
Okay.
You can pave the whole of it. It would take 3,500 square kilometers of roads to be able to pave the whole of Gambia.
Yeah.
Right, because it is a small country. So since this current administration, since they've been in power, right, outside of the OIC funding, how many kilometers of road have they been able to build? And are those world-class roads? This is the questions we should be asking. It's raining right now.
Yeah.
Even, me coming here to your...
I was late because of the rain.
Yes, exactly, right. Yeah. And this is the urban area, right, in the Gambia. This is like one of the finest areas of the Gambia, unfortunately.
Yeah.
When you get off of, even coming here, we don't have world-class roads here. We don't have good structures here. So when they say they're building these roads, what are they referring to? Because for me, my idea of road, when I'm thinking road, I'm thinking, you've been to Dakar.
Yes.
Those are roads.
Yes.
I've been to Morocco. They're building world-class roads and infrastructure.
When you compare Dakar to Gambia, how they manage resources for their OIC and ours is completely different. The development OIC brought to Dakar cannot be compared to what they brought.
To here.
It brought some development, but non-comparable to what Dakar was able to benefit.
Exactly. Because if you look at the project from the airport to Stinkona, they said they spent roughly 83 million for 22 kilometers of road, right? Because that's the distance. So that means every kilometer was almost, $3 to $4 million. And then you have other countries that can, for per kilometer, they're spending on average 500,000 to 700,000. So there's a lot of inefficiencies there because it's like, how are you spending 5 times more and then we still don't have world-class road? It's raining right now and everywhere is flooding. I couldn't even walk, to your studio.
No.
And that's facts. The cameraman can go outside and see.
So when you say they have to tell him to wait for a little.
Yes, exactly. Because, so when they say they're building roads, I'm confused, right? Yeah. Where are the roads they're talking about? Roads that flood, roads that break down within 12 months of construction. Those that's not intentional.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do differently is we want to modernize our infrastructure. We want anybody in any region of the world, when they come to Gambia, they're like, wow, they do have world-class roads. And for me, as Gambians, right, we should modernize our infrastructure because it makes the country also look good. When people come here, they give us our due respect because they'll be like, yes, these are hardworking people. They fix their road. And Gambia is already blessed. We have the Atlantic Ocean. We have the River Gambia. And if you look at, today, the issue we have in River Gambia, if you look at the history back then when the Portuguese came here, this was a big, River Gambia was a commercial trade route.
Yeah, it was.
And then if you look at the situation today, River Gambia is not even navigable today. Yeah. We've totally abandoned, commercial trade in there. So our agenda is how Gambia could be the #1 logistics hub. And that could easily be a $10 billion industry because we have the Atlantic Ocean. We can have giant vessels. We can, we can partner with, companies like Maersk, to have those vessels come here. And then we build world-class roads that actually connect the country. It's not, oh, you're building one street, you're building a road for one street in Brufut. You go do another one in Sukuta, you go do another one in Gunjur. No.
And our homes are flooding because
Yes,
of the roads.
yes, exactly.
Proper
So it should be
poor
intentional.
drainage system.
Just like I said with agriculture, it should be a system. Hey, it will take 3,500 square kilometers of road to connect, to pave the whole of Gambia.
Yeah.
Now, how do we implement that project? It should be, I know it's going to be a phase. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. But we should have a clear blueprint. We should have bridges. By now, Bara should have a bridge. Banjul Bara, we should have a bridge by now.
Well, this government said they will break it.
Yeah, but they've been saying that for how long? They've been in the regime for 10 years. How long is it going to take?
Maybe next
from Banjul to Bara is what, 10 miles?
Maybe next time.
10 miles. That's all it takes.
Maybe next time.
But those are things that they should prioritize because women struggle.
Yeah.
You have people waking up 3 a.m. in the morning just to be on the first ferry. And you have lines. That's not an efficient country, especially in the capital, Banjul. They should create a bridge. It's only 10 miles. 10 miles. And then the ferry should be optional. Those that want to use the road, go on the road. Go on the bridge. Those that want to use the ferry, use the ferry. And then not those deplorable ferries. We need good ferry, not these, second-hand refurbished ferries from Europe. Look at the ferry Senegal is using. You can't even compare to the Gambia. It's like day and night. A country that cares about its people would not put them in those old, crappy ferries. I get nightmares when I even see people on that ferry. I've used the ferry myself before, but it's scary.
Yeah.
It's like an accident waiting to happen anytime soon, which is sad. When we, procuring items, bring something that, people will like, wow, this looks good. It feels safe. You can't even, when I'm in the ferry, I can't even use the toilet there.
No.
Because I'm going to throw.
You cannot try that.
Yeah, so because, these are old ferries, poor maintenance. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you cannot try that.